squad to the sea. We grindin' just to make some history. If you ain't fucking around with me, then I'ma keep you close, my enemy. Rolling with my squad to the sea. We grindin' just to make some history. If you ain't fucking around with me, then I'ma keep you close, my enemy. If you ain't fucking around with a nigga like me, then don't come around when the nigga get his green. If you fuck me over, then I turn into the Reaper G. Got me fucked up, have you 6 feet in the sea. I'm sitting so obstructed by this nigga's audacity. They blatantly gossiping about me up in the streets. I'ma fuck around and turn this town into an autocracy. Kneel on down and crown me now, cause I am your majesty. My enemy got a meeting at 3 to see if he is trying to overthrow me. If he is, well fuck that nigga, gotta take him out and take over the streets. If you with the squad, then you fucking around, then you gotta be here through the bad times. If you switching up, you done fucked up, cause now your ass finna see my bad side. I'm rolling with my squad to the sea. We grindin' just to make some history. If you ain't fucking around with me, then I'ma keep you close, my enemy. Rolling with my squad to the sea. We grindin' just to make some history. If you ain't fucking around with me, then I'ma keep you close, my enemy.
If you my enemy, don't you pretend to me that you a kin to me, you ain't my bro. Went from them 10 G's playing my strings like a symphony. Paxter Houdini is gone. Straight in that FFB, I got the recipe. Stand up for some even if I'm alone. Woke up to commas, I'ma put some in the safe and the 30% I'ma blow. Catch a flight, turn up in the suite. Next Miami Beach, I got gasoline. Straight Supreme on that 93. Just to say the least, I've been on the big and better things. Keep the fake loves, fake hugs, and all them frenemies. Niggas stole from me, tried to take my hoes from me, really took my dough from me. Fuck niggas got close to me, I was down and they was ghosts to me. Posted stories when they roll with me. You want the life that go with it. Niggas turn snake, I'm a gorilla.
I'm rolling with my squad to the sea. We grindin' just to make some history. If you ain't fucking around with me, then I'ma keep you close, my enemy. Rolling with my squad to the sea. We grindin' just to make some history. If you ain't fucking around with me, then I'ma keep you close, my enemy. My enemy, my enemy, my enemy need to stay close to me. I'm so obsessed with the quest that it is so absurd. I hope I don't end up in the back of a hearse. I'm focused on my time that I had left on earth. I hope my mama never had to put me in the dirt. I'm contemplating getting a couple bitches, have them in the fucking kitchen and they cooking up that word. You think I'm tripping, but I am so disturbed. I'm fucking twisted, I'm so sadistic, but I'm a mystic. Just in case you missed it, pay attention, shut up and listen. I believe in God's high and mighty godly existence. Ayo, 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 ayo. Tryna get my money right, just listen to my songs. I'm gonna be a movie star on your radio. Ayo, 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 ayo. Tryna get my shot, I'm aiming for the stars. Sleeping on me now, I won't know just who you are. Sleeping going on, everybody? This is Erek Loyd in a motherfucking building. Now, I have to tell you guys, viewers' discretion is advised. I will be using some kind of foul language. I feel like I might need to say that ahead of time. Now, I'm glitching like a bastard. Give me a second. My computer got to get used to us working, goddammit. Okay, it's been over a week, as I like to do these damn shows. So, we are here today because of the events that have unfolded. I'm going to show you guys here. War is inevitable. Now, y'all like, what the hell does that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you what that means. Well, clearly, I can't tell you what the hell it means because my goddamn notes ain't pull up yet. Amen. Okay, so at some point, I'm going to have to explain the hell what the hell's going on. My tablet acting slow like a bastard. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, niggers. I am sorry. Okay? But furthermore, my job here is to give news to everybody. Not only that, but hood niggas too. Because a lot of people get on the news sites and they start talking all jazzy. Oh, and it's just unequivocally. I'm sorry, I done went black. I done went dark. These niggas get on the newscast and be like, oh, I'm so unequivocally. Shut the hell up. God damn it. We can't understand you talking all that yang bullshit. What about some of them southern motherfuckers that don't have proper English, that voted for Trump's ass? What about them niggas? You're not appealing to them. And as I ranted, I knew this was going to happen. My notes came the fuck up. So let's get back to what the hell I was talking about. War is inevitable, okay? So, to be clear, in some historic times, United States made a treaty with Taiwan that they would protect their ass, okay? Especially against China. They put a treaty in. Boom. Anytime China tries to take over that motherfucking land, United States gonna back them up for support. Okay, cool. So on February 24th of 2022, Russia bitch asses invaded and occupied parts of Ukraine. I'm sure if you was living under a rock, you might not have heard of this bullshit, but everybody has, okay? On February, that same day, the Russian president, bitch-ass Vladimir Putin, announced a special military operation to support the Russian-controlled breakaways in 2 regions of Ukraine. These motherfuckers sent 300,000 soldiers who were untrained and unable to even get to Ukraine properly without breaking the hell down, without even having combat. Then they have combat. Ukraine, who has been training for 8 fucking years for this potential war, is kicking their ass better than anybody expected. Not only that, but Russia sent 50,000 mercenaries in 2022 to Ukraine. That's full-fledged killers. Okay? Russia sent them niggas over. Okay, cool. In 2023, Russia then sends another 200,000, okay? He said his goal was to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine. The president of Ukraine is damn Jewish, bitches. Denazify. He had family members who died in the Holocaust. Volodymyr Zelensky. And Putin is saying he wants to denazify Ukraine. Okay. So he challenged Ukraine's right to statehood and falsely claimed that Ukraine was governed by neo-Nazis who prosecuted the ethnic Russian minority. Basically saying that he went against Russians in the specific area as the minority in Ukraine because he's a Nazi. Last time I checked, I don't know no Jewish people. That's Russian, okay? But anyway, let's move forward in the motherfucking show, okay? So now that you see what the hell's going on with that, I first off want to say holla to you motherfuckers, because damn it, I forgot to do it in the first place. Amen.
Damn, what a big old ass. What's the mathematics? What's the mathematics? Yo, mama, can a brother holler at you? Holler, holler, holler. Holler at you, holler, holler at you, holler at you, holler, 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 holler. You, brother. Can a brother holler at you? I know a little, are you gay? I know a little homosexual Mexican would love to have you, boy. You spending bucks, big bucks, big bucks. Love you, have you, love you, have you, love you, have you.
Holla at you motherfuckers. Thank you for my people to continuously come through and support the motherfucking show. I only got one bastard watching it, okay? But I need niggas to go ahead and get in the comments. And, you know, I've been simmering on this specific video for some time now, okay? Simply due to the fact that, I wanted to have enough information. I did have a video that I had saved that inspired this whole thing. I was not able to find it, but it was juicy and controversial, okay? So, you know, with that being said, I said, fuck it, we had to go live for this.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Right. Fucking thing sucks!
Alrighty. And you know what? For those of you that's in the comments, that if you have an opinion, goddammit, get your punk ass in the comments and say it, goddammit. I don't give a damn if you a Russian spy said I'm finna kill your ass, Eazzy. Alright, damn, you goddamn say it so I can alert the FBI and the police so they can protect my black ass. Knowing how the United States system is, they ain't gonna do shit. They gonna let my bitch ass get killed. Lord have mercy. So say it in the comments, goddammit, please.
About this on the show before. You have African-American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it, I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay, this is hypocritical. You know we can't.
Sure you can. This is America. Both of you.
Now, as you see, I'm repping fighting goddamn colors because we are finna go to war. You think it's a game, okay? You think it's a goddamn game. We're going our ass to war, okay? We're going down to the motherfucking ground. And this is why, okay? China is about to change the war in Ukraine by potentially giving them new weapons.
Will China give Russia new weapons in this war? That is the big question. And today, one of China's top diplomats is meeting with Putin in Moscow. Now, the US has warned that China is considering giving weaponry to Russia. The Chinese, though, have said that that's fake news, that in fact, they're trying to position themselves as peacemakers in all of this. China's Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin met just days before the invasion started last year, and there was talk of no limits to their relationship. But experts say China has been totally thrown and shocked by how badly the war has gone for Russia. And Putin has openly admitted that China has concerns about how the war is going. Experts say that China doesn't want Russia to lose the war, but at the same time they don't want to provoke the West to bring sanctions on them. Which is why China hasn't given weapons to Russia yet, but that could change.
Now, all these clips that I show are supposed to be in fair use, okay? I done got fucking a copyright strike. I've never received a copyright strike on a fucking Michael Jackson video. Michael Jackson Forever is the YouTube channel. You sons of bitches! I'm a Michael Jackson fan too, motherfuckers. And your copyright struck my ass. You didn't give me no warning, none of that. You striked me. And you can go to hell too, bitches. You don't love Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson loves not only Michael Jackson, but all the innocent children of the motherfucking world. And I was one of them innocent kids who loved Michael Jackson, who got made fun of about being a Michael Jackson fan. And you repay me by giving me a strike, bitch. So that's what I got to say to you, okay? And about the damn China motherfuckers, bullshit. They don't give a damn about not provoking the West because they know the West ain't on some bullshit. They scared. They ain't trying to go to war because it's gonna cost us some motherfucking money, but the United States government is gonna make money off of it. We all know right now in this day and age, our biggest enemies is Russia and motherfucking China. If we go to war with Russia and motherfucking China, that would be a world war. Which means our puppets, NATO, will bring their ass in, get slaughtered. We are hundreds of thousands of United States soldiers are getting slaughtered. And then we're going to slaughter their ass.
It ain't going to be a win-win for nobody. With the addition of nuclear bombs that everybody in the world besides the United States are itching to do. See, that's the problem. We fucked up nuclear bombing Japan and all these other motherfucking places in Japan. Because now everybody want to do it to our black asses or our whites or whatever the hell ass you are watching this motherfucking video in the United States. We're fucked. Because we set the tone years and years ago. They don't give a fuck about provoking the West. They're trying to provoke the West so that they can fire back. Everybody wants to kill the United States. But they need the other world to approve their ass. Oh, we don't want to provoke the West, even though we're finna fuck them up. Okay? And here's furthermore to Russia and China not giving a fuck about the West. Russia and China talks.
What does the second most powerful nation, China, think about the Russian invasion of Ukraine? In 1968, the Soviet Union invaded Czechoslovakia with 500,000 soldiers to brutally topple its reforming government. To Mao Zedong, the leader of China, this was seen as a monstrous crime, validating a long-standing distrust of their communist Soviet counterparts. But in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, China has largely been quiet. This is because today, unlike in 1968, China and Russia are geopolitical allies, who, just last month, before the invasion, met to solidify their cooperation, seeking to rival American global dominance, stating after the fact that the strategic partnership had no limits. But this is being put to the test. China ultimately has two aims: to repair its reputation while using its massive Belt and Road Initiative to make it the epicenter for global trade, both of which are in jeopardy if it is seen as being complicit in aiding its Russian ally. It should be no surprise then that China is trying to come across as neutral, attempting to have its cake and eat it too. Should the invasion continue to fail, expect China to ramp up its desire to be a mediator for establishing a ceasefire.
Bullshit. Because not only did they meet with Russia before Russia officially invaded, you know goddamn well Russia had told Xi Jinping, the president of motherfucking China, that he was going to invade. That's why China had to take their bitch asses down there to talk to Russia like, hey, are y'all finna do this? So we can prepare our story. Are y'all finna do this? Oh yeah, Vladimir Putin's like, yes, we will. And we will eat your blood. Okay, because Vladimir Putin's a goddamn vampire. Okay? All right? So, clearly, that's what happened. Right after the meeting, Russia invades. They meet again. What's going to happen next? Not only that, but a Chinese balloon brought they nasty, stinking asses over here to see what the fuck was going on, to see if we had any idea of what they had planned. Y'all forgot about the Chinese balloon that we did a live stream on? So all this shit is going down in close comparison, and here's sleepy ass Biden sleeping again on the goddamn job.
That China will side with Russia in this war.
There's no evidence of that so far. And by the way, I had a long conversation with Xi about this in the summer. And I said, look, this is not a threat, it's just a statement. When in fact, Europeans saw what was happening and Americans saw what was happening in Russia, in Europe, guess what? 600 corporations pulled out. They left. They didn't want to be associated. I said, you told me that the future of China rests on investment from the Western world, and that matters. I said, I just keep an eye on that. There's no evidence he's done it yet.
That's the shit that he sold you, you damn bastard. What the hell? My computer beeping and shit. Hold on now. My shit freezing. I'm glitching like a motherfucker. What's going on? That's the shit they sold you, Joe Biden. They sold your ass a crock full of bullshit, and you ate it up. Oh, the future in China is Russian in investment. What the hell are you talking about? The future in the United States is United States investment, because everything we got in this motherfucker is by China. The stand holding this bitch ass camera is by China. The motherfucking mic holding this bitch ass pole is by China. I'm sure the motherfucking Mac computer I got was made in Taiwan. That's why China wants Taiwan. They might have some American shit over there, but they got more Russia shit. They got more India shit, more shit from Saudi Arabia. What are we talking about here? And Joe Biden is like, oh yeah, I talked to Xi Jinping, whatever the hell that nigga name is. And he told me the truth. Shut, nigga. Go to bed. Sit your punk ass down and go to bed. I ain't voting for your ass again. I'm not gonna not vote, but I ain't voting for your ass again. And I don't know what I'm saying because I'm not voting Republican. You got me fucked up. So China meets with Russia, okay?
Him going to Moscow at this time provides a really important signal of his continued support for Putin. And of course, that is designed to show the United States in particular that these two countries are aligned, that they have this deep partnership, and that they stand in opposition to the United States, that they are united in pushing back against US and Western influence that they see as limiting their power on the international stage, and is designed to contain both of their countries. So yes, again, I think in many ways, this is part of a more assertive Xi Jinping.
Now, real quick, guys, this isn't some shit that I will make little clips out of this show, as I always do. That takes a lot of fucking work, by the way. It's just me working my goddamn self, okay? But this is something you listen to when you at work or something. This isn't something you just sit down and watch. You can, as why I have the videos and I show you certain things, okay? You can, it's meant for that. But it's really a podcast show. Take it as such and listen to it when you're at work, when you're working. I find it very enjoyable. Much more enjoyable than sitting and watching, as I do as well. I watch these shows just to make sure I get it. And it's fun when I'm at work and certain instances happen, goddammit. This is a good show. I enjoy it. Okay? And China just met with Russia. Now, what the hell is going on there? The more they meet, the more bad shit happens. So this is what I'm thinking about, right? United States sanctioned Russia's ruble. Their dollar is called the Russian ruble, okay? Which values it to nothing. The way United States have power is their ability to sanction, which is there's a trading system that goes on around in the world, and that determines a country's economy and their standing in the global aspect. Okay, every country wants to be in the top row so that they could have meetings with these top countries just in case shit go down, they have protection. That's the overall goal of every country. That's why China wants power like there's no tomorrow. That's why, because when you have the top spot, then you have everybody else trying to have your protection and have your back, more or less. That's why United States has been known as the fucking superpower. But if you sanction, what happened in this situation is that we over-sanction. Sanction. We're going to sanction Russia. Okay, so that we sanctioned Russia. We brought, damn near collapsed the fucking economy. So China and Russia have a meeting and be like, yo, we closer to the motherfucking Middle East than the United States is. Let's go down to them, make a deal with them, and have them only trade with the yen. By then, we could build up the Russian ruble. We'll invest into you. It's a win-win for both of us. We don't need the United States or the US dollar. So, as a result of this, and other countries like Saudi Arabia and or Brazil agreeing to this, is killing the US dollar. Once again, all these clips are used in fair use.
A few days ago, China and Brazil announced that they would no longer trade with each other in US dollars. This is about $150 billion a year. Each group will use their own country's currency or just trade in the Chinese yuan. This has sent ripples through the money system as people worry about the de-dollarization of the global trade system. It's also sent gold increasing in value. Now, former President Donald Trump has said Biden has pissed off the world and de-dollarization will definitely hurt the United States of America.
Now, this nigga was playing fucking... And, oh, man, I hope I don't get a copyright strike for that shit. God damn, because I know that song. That's from Interstellar, god damn it. You can't goddamn fair use music, so goddamn. Fuck. Anyway, boom, bam, bitch. That's it right there. The de-dollarization on the world scale will make United States not the superpower because they won't have control. And us sanctioning Russia is what fucked us in the end.
You might have heard of something called the G7 Summit. This is where the world's leading countries with advanced economies come together to talk about nothing short of how to rule the world. Canada, France, Italy, Germany, Japan, the UK, and the US. You can think of this club as sort of like the cool kids club where all the seniors hang out and not everyone is invited, which is why another club was created for all the other kids, the BRICS Summit. Think of this club as the junior varsity edition of the G7 Summit. Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They represent the world's leading developing countries. At the end of June this year, they came together, and on the topic of discussion for the 14th annual BRICS Summit was the creation of a new monetary system, which means that soon we could be seeing the creation of a new world reserve currency. And the problem with that is that it's going to challenge the global dominance of the US dollar.
That's what I'm saying. The video that I was referring to earlier that I really wanted to show that I wasn't able to find was a video saying that, yes, what Russia and China just did is what's going to force the United States to put war on their ass. Now, I'm going to break this down real quick after this next clip because it's finna go down. It's finna go the fuck down. And I'm going to explain what's really going on between Russia and China. But first off, what is BRICS?
What is BRICS? BRICS, or Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, is a group of 5 leading emerging economies. BRICS emerged in 2001 as BRIC, and was later joined by South Africa in 2010. The group became a formal geopolitical entity from 2009 onwards, with summits and coordination of policies. The BRICS countries account for around 27% of the world's land surface, and approximately 42% of the global population. The grouping is considered a competitor to the G7 bloc, with competing institutions and initiatives in the areas of development economics, financial reserves, currencies and payments.
Once again, that clip was used in fair use. So, just FYI before you niggas try to copyright strike my ass. Okay? So, in this video, this guy was talking about how China and Russia meeting is, like I said, was going to cause the United States to force war upon them. Because that's going to take the control of the US dollar on a global scale. If other countries join in, that will be our worst nightmare. Which will essentially remove our control. And the only other control that we would have against the world, if it isn't economic, is fucking militarily. Which means in order to push our dominance, it would have to be militarily. Something to think about. Any country trying to hold power will be a very dangerous country. Hence, the United States. So take that in consideration when moving forward. So, next clip, we're going to be looking at, could the oil be traded in Chinese yuan? This is a big question.
Could oil be sold in Chinese yuan instead of US dollars? Rumors of advancing discussion between Saudi Aramco, the Saudi state, and China insinuate that the development isn't entirely off the table. Since much of, if not all, of the US's foreign influence stems from its role as the issuers of the global reserve currency, the US dollar, an economic development like Saudi selling oil for yuan instead of US dollar would have dramatic implications for the necessity, demand, and influence of US dollar in international markets. Saudi Arabia sells about 80% of its exported oil in dollars, just as it has since 1974, when it entered a deal with the Nixon administration to exclusively protect the US interest in oil sales in return for military protection. Could this be the beginning of a shifting alliance amongst global powers?
That's United States on the economic front. Worst nightmare. Once again, that clip was used in fair use. I guess I gotta say that after all goddamn clips so I don't get hit with copyrights. I said it at the beginning of the video. All these clips are for fair use. Look it up, understand what fair use is, and understand that I can do this shit. Okay? It would be best if I asked for permission, but some of you niggas are stuck up and don't respond. At least tell me, no, nigga, you can't. Okay? Anyway, as a result of this news getting out, the U.S. begins to cut ties with Saudi Arabia, which I don't think is the best idea in this situation.
The U.S. has canceled a key meeting with Saudi Arabia. The meeting was supposed to be about giving air defense to them to protect against Iran. But earlier today, President Biden said that the U.S. is now reevaluating whether the relationship serves U.S. interests. This comes after reports said that Saudi Arabia worked with Russia to cut oil production. And while Saudi Arabia believes that it has the U.S. trapped, it's believed the U.S. still has many more cards to play as it looks at lifting sanctions on Venezuela and making a deal with Iran.
See, we got sanctions on every motherfucking body. We done hit embargoes on all kinds of motherfuckers. Once you devalue the U.S. dollar and remove its control from the fucking world, that's when the economy shrinks. That's when less people want to do business with the United States. You already got businesses moving out of the United States. Millionaires moving out of the United States. That's what the fuck that means. I done just hit my mic. Hopefully my sound didn't go out. Because I be having some sound problems like a motherfucker. Okay? And China is claiming they will do all necessary measures to make sure. So, I just jumped the gun. Let me explain to you what's really going on. Okay? I believe that the reason why China met with Russia right before Russia invaded was because that was all a part of the plan. See, there was, it exploded on Twitter before Elon fucked things up, that China, right after Russia invaded, was looking at Taiwan like a piece of meat, like they wanted them. And that's when the news started to get out. Oh, China's looking at Taiwan. They met with Russia right before. It's all a part of the plan. While China is saying, hey, on an economic scale, because they're combining with us, they're on that level, they're number 2 in the fucking world, they got to play the politics. Oh, yes, we don't agree with them invading, but, you know, we're going to still be in talks with Russia and support Russia economically. That ain't no fucking mishaps. Oh, but in a sense, in this whole situation, then China's going to send a fucking spy balloon. They claim it's a weather balloon. But it's really a spy balloon over the whole continental of the United States. That's no coincidence. Then they meet again with rumors coming out that they're going to try to remove the United States dollar as the main global economic trading source and use the Chinese yen while also trying to support Russia and help them in the war with Ukraine. While at the same time, first off, Russia and Ukraine was a test for the United States to see how involved they were going to get. So when the rumors came out, United States is like, no, motherfuckers, we will protect Taiwan.
You didn't want to get involved in the Ukraine conflict militarily for obvious reasons. Are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that?
Yes.
You are.
That's the commitment we made. The idea that it could be taken by force is just not appropriate. It will dislocate the entire region and be another action similar to what happened in Ukraine.
Boom. That's why. He says, yes, we're going to do it. Absolutely. He gets interviewed by a gentleman who goes even further and asks the real important question to Biden. Are you going to put military boots on the ground if China invades Taiwan?
What should Chinese President Xi know about your commitment to Taiwan?
We agree with what we signed on to. a long time ago, and that there's a one China policy, and Taiwan makes their own judgments about their independence. We are not moving, we're not encouraging their being independent. We're not, that's their decision.
But would U.S. forces defend the island?
Yes, if in fact there was an unprecedented attack.
To be clear, sir, U.S. forces, U.S. men and women, would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion.
Yes.
Once again, that clip was used in fair use. He doubles down and says, yeah. So at this point, China was like, oh, word? Oh, so you're going to defend? Well, then hell, we're going to start preparing for military war.
Xi Jinping has told the Chinese military that he wants to have the capability to take Taiwan by 2027, which currently would mean that a war between the United States and China is inevitable if China utilizes that capability. With this last night, President Biden committed to defending Taiwan with U.S. troops, and over the past year, the U.S. has begun assembling a coalition of the willing when it comes to defending Taiwan. That coalition so far consisting of Five Eyes and Japan.
And if we go to war with China, don't think it's a coincidence that Russia started early. Russia is going to start going after Poland and all the niggas in AU that's a part of our NATO. Biden had already made it clear, if you strike our allies in our NATO regions, then we will fight. That's why Ukraine wanted so badly to be a part of NATO, so that the United States can get drug into the Ukraine war. If you notice, all the world wars is United States trying to prevent themselves from being in the war and then somehow getting drug into it when somebody hits their allies or hit us as a result. This is going to be the start to World War III. This isn't some conspiracy theory. History has a way of fucking repeating itself. Don't think it's a coincidence that all this shit is going on. Regardless of what the politics are fucking telling you and the news is telling you, I'm telling you niggas, this shit has been brewing for a long fucking time. China and Russia invading into our fucking elections and to Facebook going as far as making fake news actually real. Which, fun fact, Hillary Clinton created fake news. It was Hillary Clinton who first said fake news as far as reputing something as far as Donald Trump. Donald Trump then took it and ran with it. Fake news, totally fake news. Russia then played on that when it came down to fake news. Facebook actually put in social media, actually putting fake news out. And now the United States is totally divided because Russia needed that to happen. Don't think this is all a fucking coincidence. Yo, what about Iran and North Korea? What are they up to? Shit. Well, clearly the United States is trying to get back with Iran and make deals when it comes down to oil, because Saudi Arabia, where we get our fucking oil, is trying to convert to yen. With the addition of us trying to take our sanctions off of Venezuela so we can trade with them as a result of that. North Korea will get their shit in the mix when fucking with Japan. That's when it comes down to the World War. Don't think that's been brewing. That's all fucking connected. Russia and Kim Jong-un had meetings. Don't think that wasn't fucking connected. All this shit is connected. All the movements they are making is to combat the United States. All this shit has actually happened. And now, the United States and China are at a standoff at an all-time high.
Taiwan's Foreign Minister Joseph Wu has recently stated that he believes China will attack by the year 2027. However, United States General Mike Minihan is convinced it will be much sooner. Friday, General Minihan sent out a memo to his troops declaring that his gut tells him China will attack Taiwan in 2025. Minihan stated, Chinese President Xi Jinping secured his third term, and set his war council in October of 2022. Taiwan's presidential elections are in 2024 and will offer Xi a reason. United States presidential elections are in 2024 and will offer Xi a distracted United States. Xi's team, reason, and opportunity are all aligning for 2025 war. Due to this reasoning, General Minihan is letting the Pentagon and the U.S. military know to be prepared for war with China.
Once again, fair use. I'm using this clip in fair use. But I got a further notch for that. So we understand that Xi Jinping in China secured his election, so he's going to be in power. Taiwan is having an election in 2024, and so is the United States. And the whole purpose, they said, hey, we're going to strike them in 2027. Which is not going to be the case. Another military man is like, for the United States, is like, no, they're going to strike in 2025. Here's the thing, though. Why the fuck and who the fuck is going to wait for Taiwan and the United States to have an election? The best time to strike is during the fucking election. Because at that point, a president is leaving. The president will have respect for the oncoming president and try not to make any drastic moves that will affect the world. The only person that really give a fuck and do some crazy shit like that is Trump. Won't do anything too drastic that will make the job even more difficult for the oncoming president, regardless of party lines. Listen, guys, it ain't about party right now. It ain't about Republicans and Democrats. This is the United fucking States going to war. This is a real possibility because now these countries are openly talking about it. It is finna go down, folks. It is finna go down. I'm trying to remember my point so I can continue talking about it, but it just lost me. It left me, okay? But it's finna go down. And with that, before we get into the nitty-gritty of how it's gonna go down, we got a fucking holla break for your ass. So, holla, grandma, what the hell you on, bitch?
Come on now, do it! They said create holla on OnlyFans. So I line up the dicks and sucks tonight.
What? See holla?
Meaning, mighty mo. Come on, baby, bring some mo.
Oh, suck it now, baby. You think there will be another draft? No, I don't think so. Simply due to there's a lot of shit. I'm fucked if it is. But no, I'm an only child, so I shouldn't be able to go anyway. Anyway, I'm a mom. My mom's only son. So, but yeah, there shouldn't be another draft. I don't think. Number one. Number two, we got a lot of military people. We got a lot of Air Force. Like, we got a lot of motherfuckers. So I don't think there's a need for the draft. Usually a draft is used to fill the people. That's what Russia's doing because they don't have the military people to go and kill themselves. Okay? So now that we've moved on from Grandma Holla, God bless you, baby. In the name of Jesus, hope you are lighting them up and sucking them up in heaven. Amen. Rebecca is our music portion of the show. I don't know if I'm going to make this and keep this here, but I have had it over the last few shows. Let's jam out to this bitch.
Come on, give me words. Guys, come on, give me words. Are you guys ready now? I like that. Heartbreak. Damn, bro. Okay, let's try it. You don't break my heart. You tell me, say you no go, leave me go. You don't take my mind. You promise, say you no go ever leave me go. Honey, down. I need the money when I wake up every week. You are honey. Anytime when I don't see you, baby, I'll be calling. I'll be a fool to go back to my ex-boyfriend. What did I say? I'll be a fool to go back to my ex-boyfriend. Give me one. See, I'll be good girl, bad girl. Anytime that you need me, I'll be right here. Yeah. Baby, would you call on me? Yeah. Baby, would you call my phone? Call my phone.
Baby, would you call my phone? Hey, that's my jam right there, motherfuckers. That's my jam right there. So, Joe Rogan claims that octopus may be out from outer space. What the hell?
And have you ever heard the theory that octopus are from out of space? I'm not super well read on it, but like it looks like a damn alien.
And I think it has something to do with the way RNA and DNA is on them, right?
Yes, it's like the thought that the population came from out of space because the DNA sequencing suggests something that makes it extraterrestrial adaptability.
That's also a thought about psilocybin mushrooms. They came on asteroids and their spores.
I don't know if you know this, but they've proven that certain mushroom spores are impenetrable to the vacuum of space.
Yeah, they can survive.
That's wild. Some would even say that we were aliens. I mean, gold comes from fucking aliens. Or asteroids that came from extraterrestrial fucking places in space. Very interesting. Very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if a species got carried on a motherfucking rock and came here to the world of Earth. Now, Dana White is talking about Donald Trump being at UFC 286 or 287.
Donald Trump was here watching the fights with you. What sort of fight fan is he? Is he like a guy who wants to see a brawl? Does he want to see a technical back and forth? Like, what was he sitting there saying to you?
So this guy calls me twice a month and will talk to me for an hour about fights that have happened, since the last time we talked. And he knows everybody. He knows, what they did and who they fought last. And he's a huge fight fan. Loves this stuff.
Fucking wild. Because this nigga should be worried about getting his ass raped in prison. That's what he need to be concerned about. So you better enjoy the best life that you have, Donald Trump, because your ass is going to jail. You're getting the range, nigga. Taking your ass to jail. And here's the thing. Millionaires are fleeing.
I recently came across a really interesting chart called the Millionaire Migration.
Millionaires are fleeing from Russia and China. Bitch, you don't jump the gun, motherfucker.
I recently came across a really interesting chart called the Millionaire Migration. It looks at the biggest winners and losers when it comes to countries gaining or losing wealthy people. The biggest losers are Russia, China, and India. They're losing thousands of millionaires every single year. That may not be surprising, but the biggest winners probably will surprise you. The UAE, Singapore, and Australia had the most net gain of millionaires over the last year. Sometimes you just have to follow the money and understand where people are leaving and where they're going.
I put this shit in the Holla Break because I didn't feel like it had anything to do with what the hell we was talking about here today. So very interesting, cool, collected. Here's feminists getting drafted into World War III.
I just don't understand. I thought only men got drafted. That used to be the case. Now it's men and women who claim they don't need no man. I don't think I've ever used the words I don't need no man. Here's 11 screenshots of tweets in which you've used the phrase I don't need no man. Okay, but I didn't mean any of that. I was just making jokes. I'm a comedian. I'm a female comedian? That's an oxymoron, isn't it? Because comedian implies funny and women aren't funny. Does that bother you? Nope. Because it would for sure bother a feminist. And of course, if I find out that you're a feminist, well, then I'm gonna have to draft you. So, what's it gonna be? It doesn't bother me. Prove it. What? I want to hear you say women aren't funny. I'm not gonna. Of course, if you don't say it, then I'm gonna have to assume you're a feminist. And, well, then you're gonna get drafted. Women aren't funny. Oh, well, my apologies, ma'am. You clearly aren't a feminist. Also, is your husband around? Hey, what's going on here? Robert, congratulations. You've been drafted to fight in World War III. I just have to ask you this one question. Are you gay? Because we don't allow gay people in the military, and, well, if you are, then you'd be exempt. Yes. Prove it.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, that should answer your question, Overlord, on the draft. Amen. And this is the end of our Holla Break. Holla, send us out of this motherfucker.
Holla, 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 holla at you. Holla at you, baby. Holla at you. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla at you. Holla at you, holla at you, holla at you. Baby, holla at you, holla at you, holla at you. Holla at you, holla, 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 holla. Holla at you, at you, holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, holla, holla.
Okay, what the nigga said, I'm glitching a little bit, sorry. What the nigga said was that he cool, and look, he don't give a damn about Russia and China unless they got some bad bitches over there. And if they do, and they got them for him, he all cool. He said, Rebecca, he want to smash that bitch so good while she sing with his nuts in his mouth. I don't know. It wasn't me. Don't blame the messenger. It's what this nigga said, okay? An octopus can kiss his ass from the back preferably with tongue and less ink. Okay, crazy as hell. He said Donald Trump can kiss his ass from the back too in jail because he'll meet him there. Don't blame the messenger, okay? Millionaires don't give a damn as long as they paying his pockets, and if they gay, he'll be gay for them. All right, and feminists, he didn't have any comment against that. All right, so that's what the nigga said. Amen. Let's move on to the war portion of the show. Ukraine, yes, they do. Ukraine got some badass bitches. And it's only because your little ass was be watching pornography. That's why, how the hell you know, nigga? Because that's the reason how I know they got bad bitches. So how the hell you know? You done just told on yourself. The reason why you know Ukraine, Overlord, got bad bitches is because you be watching pornography. That's all that is. I know your game, brother. I know your steez, okay? I know what it is. You can't fool a player, okay? You can't play a player, nigga. All right, let's move forward. And we're trying to be the next superpower.
What would a world look like where the United States is not the largest superpower? We have to be asking ourselves. If you're not asking yourself that question, you're just staring at a wall. You're blinding yourself. Mm-hmm. We have to be asking ourselves a question. What do we do as a country, and what do you do as an individual if America is not at the top of the mountain anymore? Economists are predicting that by 2033, China will be the largest superpower in the world. Can we effect changes now that prevent that from happening? I think we can. They'd have to be pretty radical changes, but I think we can do it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Overlord. Talk about, yeah, nah, these were pics of women soldiers in Ukraine. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. It probably was war zone, ball zone. That's probably the thing you talking about. Okay? The freaking bastard. Your ass here talking about you. Hey, God damn it. Now, this is China telling United States to hit the brakes or face war when it comes down to Taiwan.
美方声称要经营中国，但不寻求冲突。实际上，美方所谓的竞争，就是全方位的遏制、打压，就是你死我活的零和博弈。如果美方不踩刹车，继续沿着错误的道路狂飙下去，再多的护栏也挡不住脱轨翻车，陷入对抗冲突。
Okay, China. Listen, motherfuckers. You ain't gonna do shit because you ain't about shit. The United States military is gonna wipe that ass out. Unless you hit us with a nuke, and then we're gonna hit your ass back with a nuke, and there's gonna be some nuclear parties going down in this motherfucker. Your nukes against and Russia against us, we're gonna get blown off the face of the earth. And it is what it is. I'm tired of being scared. Let's go to war, Dabin. Let's go to war. Let's kill the motherfucker. Let's go. Because I'm sick of this shit, Biden. Let's kill or be killed, motherfuckers. They talking jazzy and shit, you arrogant motherfuckers. That's why I can't stand the Chinese people. I love you motherfuckers, but I can't stand you bastards because y'all arrogant as hell. You don't give a fuck about nobody but your motherfucking selves. Americans the same way, but fuck it. We can't have two arrogant niggas in the motherfucking building. This town ain't big enough for the both of us, motherfucker. So somebody gonna have to kneel down to somebody in this motherfucker. And Americans don't kneel for shit. Not unless you're black and you're doing it against the United States flag. And in that case, you lose your job, according to the President of the United States of America. Now let's see what the hell China attacks will look on the United States.
The Chinese military hasn't fought a war since 1979, but they have been very careful students of other people's wars. So we think that some of the things they would do, they would go after our satellites, because that is a key part of the American way of war. It's how we find our enemies, it's how we guide our weapons, it's how we coordinate our forces. We would probably see missile strikes against a variety of targets. They're building anti-ship ballistic missiles to target our aircraft carriers. We'd probably see cyber attacks, both on military networks, but also here at home, could cause disruption. Rail networks, air transportation, communications, etc. The idea is to paralyze your adversary and then hit them hard physically. And while they are just discombobulated, achieve your goals, and then present them with a fait accompli.
Hence, why I'm pretty certain they're going to strike in 2024 in the midst of our elections. They don't give a fuck about Taiwan and their elections. It's in their best interest when they have... Who gives a fuck about Taiwan having an election if they planning on invading and wiping the motherfuckers out? There's no point, not unless there's a person that is in the election that will serve to China's best interest, which will fuck the whole situation up. If a person is winning in that specific election, China is going to take over. And United States is going to be right the fuck there. The problem, though, is that United States is not going to know how to maneuver in the midst of a fucking election. Because that shit is already top-notch as it is. I guarantee you, mark my words on this. Shit's going down. United States say 2025. China says 2027. I'm calling it 2024. Mark it down. Newsflash, motherfuckers. It's 2023 now. It's 2023 now. What the fuck you think gonna happen in 2024? Overlord says next Pearl Harbor coming. See, that's what got us the fuck in the second time. Imagine they take all of America's Wi-Fi or something like that. Well, that's what China would do because they have the fucking power to. So yeah, wipe us the fuck out, cybersecurity our motherfucking ass, take our satellites the fuck down. We are fucked. Not only are we fucked, we are fucked on a everyday standpoint as a regular American citizens. You think you know how to get to work now, motherfucker? Your GPS go the fuck out, you're fucked, okay? Nigga, you gotta prepare a map quest at the crib. And I don't even know if map quests still exist in that motherfucker. You're fucked, okay? Overlord says, what do the leaked documents say? I didn't even look into none of that shit. I gotta take this shit in doses. I gotta look at a specific target, and I can't take all that shit on because I'm gonna be driven crazy, okay? Maybe, why don't they have dates on them? Maybe they have the dates on them. See, once again, I don't know nothing about them, brother. So I can't even comment on that shit. Leaked documents. Everybody's leaking into our shit. We're fucked. Everybody coming after us. We're fucked. And the only way we know how to deal with that is to come out swinging. War is inevitable. By now, I done proved it, motherfuckers. But here's the thing. All these clips are used in fair use, so please don't come after my black ass. Amen? China is not Russia, and Taiwan ain't Ukraine.
Let's start with the Chinese view about what's going on. When the war first started, they were really excited because they had always seen this as a potential template. You know, the Russians conquer Ukraine quickly, the world sucks it up, and Ukraine ceases to exist. The Russians absorb it. The Russians pay no real diplomatic or economic price, and we go back to a multipolar world in which the Russians are bigger and everyone has just decided to accept the done deal and move on. Yeah, that's not happening. So number one, Ukraine, while they're massively overperforming, has really only been preparing for this war for 8 years and did not have a lot of financial resources to do so. Taiwan has been preparing for war with China for 75 years, and they are a wealthy country, and there is not a flat land border between China and Taiwan. It's an ocean. So there's always going to be a much higher level of casualties and a much higher level of difficulty.
So let me explain that real quick. Once again, that clip was used in fair use. Brother, don't come after me. I appreciate you. Y'all motherfuckers go subscribe to that nigga, okay? But here's the thing. To be honest, China's Navy is better than the United States. But then we have the addition of our Air Force, which is dominant over everybody, with the addition of our fucking ground on the boots on the ground. Like, we ain't nothing to fuck with. But this war will be a naval war. China has a better navy than we do. Russia was the template. Russia happens first. Let's see how the United States responds. The whole point was to see how they would respond against Taiwan. That was the whole point of this. Oh, so they didn't get involved? Okay. So the rumors start coming out. United States say, no, nigga, we're going to get involved. China's like, oh, really? Well, if you're going to get involved, motherfuckers, we're going to attack here. You better be ready. United States like, I ain't smelling that shit. It's going down in 2025, bitch. And we're going to be ready. So there's been simulations of what would happen if China invaded fucking Taiwan.
Last August, the Chinese military sent a loud wake-up call to the United States with this massive, unprecedented drill simulating a blockade of Taiwan. And military activities near the island haven't stopped. In January, a Washington-based think tank simulated a war game of China invading Taiwan in 2026. In 24 different scenarios, the Center for Strategic and International Studies said Taiwan could likely fend off a Chinese invasion only if the United States came to the island's defense. War games show, however, any victory over the Chinese would come at a great cost. More than 3,000 American soldiers would lose their lives in the simulation, and China would also suffer significant losses. President Xi has ordered his military, known as the People's Liberation Army, to be ready to take Taiwan by 2027, which marks the force's 100th anniversary.
Once again, that clip was used in fair use. Overlord says, do you think they will nuke us as well? Possibility. Very much so. Because honestly, in a war, it's about edge. It's about having the next move. United States is clear on hesitant on using nukes. That's why we haven't been wanting to get into a war with anybody. We've been hesitant because we know the ramifications of using nukes. Hell, our nuke is less powerful. Our nukes that we dropped was less powerful than the nukes that we have currently today. So, yes, China will be desperate enough to use nukes. I'm sure of it. Russia has been threatening the bitch this whole time. North Korea has been threatening the bitch the whole time. But here's the thing. Simulation shows that with the United States support, they could fend off China. But nobody's talking about with Russia's support, with Saudi Arabia's support, with North Korea's support. Nobody's talking about the potential allies of China in this specific simulation. That's the dangerous part. We know that China has an edge when it comes down to their navy. We know that second place is the United States Navy. We also know that United States Air Force is better than every fucking body, which will be in play during that whole thing. With the addition of Taiwanian forces who's been training for this shit for the last 75 fucking years. They got money in the arms to support. The center of World War III will be in between China and Taiwan. With the addition of North Korea popping off with Japan, with the addition of Russia continuing to pop off at Ukraine, the plan for Russia, though, because they're so inept, they were supposed to already have Ukraine by now so that they could start pushing it to Poland and all them other fucking areas, simultaneously popping off at the same time. So China soon is going to be helping to help that push. It's going down, y'all. It's going down. I don't know why the chat ain't popping up on a motherfucking screen as it should be. Okay? Because, motherfucker, I ain't got time for this. Overlord says, would the United States allies join in as well at that point? Well, if you're talking about a world war, hell yeah. Hell yeah, especially with our allies that's on the fucking borders of Russia. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's going down, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going to fuck down. And there's nothing nobody can do about it. Right? So, with that being said, China releases a video. Now, this nigga, I don't know if he's speaking English or Arabic. I don't know what the hell he's speaking. So you probably ain't gonna understand it. But nigga, amen.
ताइवान को वेपन्स प्रोवाइड करने के लिए एक्स्ट्रा स्टॉक पाइल ना यूरोप के पास होगा ना यूएस के पास होगा। तो आप अगर टाइमिंग की बात करें तो ये एक बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉपर टाइम होगा चाइना के लिए एक मिलिट्री एक्शन लेने का।
Nigga, did you just call me a nigga? I use that clip in fair use, but nigga, because I could understand. This nigga was speaking half. Yeah, I don't know what the hell he was speaking. He was speaking half and half, Overlord. You get it already? Did people get it up, nigga? What? Wait a minute, nigga. The hell you saying? Basically, I showed that clip to show that's China's simulation of what the hell would happen. All them arms coming the fuck out, fired at Taiwan. That's what the hell they simulating, okay? So we got both simulations of what the hell's gonna happen, okay? Now here's another nigga that's got that yin yang accent, but we can understand him a little bit better. Biden shows the path to World War III.
In a statement, the President of the USA, Joe Biden, has warned the world that Russia will pay a severe price for the use of chemical weapons. He also emphasized that the USA will not fight Russia in Ukraine because a direct confrontation between NATO and the Kremlin would trigger World War III. Russia on Feb 24 launched an attack on Ukraine, and after a few days, it recognized two breakaways regions of Ukraine as independent region. The USA leads the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. Hence, confrontation between NATO and Russia essentially means a fight between the USA and Russia. Biden added that the US will stand by the allies in Europe and defend everything in NATO territories. NATO is a group of 30 North American and European countries. Its purpose is to guarantee the freedom and security of its members through political and military means.
Y'all caught me clearing the smoke break, and I apologize about that unprofessionalism. Once again, that clip is used in fair use. Okay. Overlord says, are these simulations really accurate? Those because countries move and can be unpredictable at times. Well, that's the problem with simulations, is that, yes, things are unpredictable at times. Overlord says, there are a ton of information we don't have knowledge of. My point exactly. So regardless of either one's simulation, that's whatever the information that they have to retain, that's what they're going off of. It's not we don't know what Russia and China are talking about. We don't know what Russia and fucking North Korea is talking about. They could be all spreading the message of, hey, at this point in time, at this specific situation, we're going to all attack, which would be our worst nightmare. Joe Biden talk about, oh, I had a conversation with Xi Jinping. Fuck all of that. We done having conversations. What's up, nigga? And to be honest, I'd rather strike first than to be struck and then have to strike last. No, fuck that. I was always, when it came down to fights, it's because the nigga posed a threat to me, act like he was gonna do something, and I struck his ass. That's how, point blank period. I don't got time. Fuck you. I knock your ass out in first punch. Fuck that. That's how I operate. That's how the United States should operate. I'm sick of this shit. Everybody threatening the next motherfucking country that threaten our ass. We need to bomb their ass. That's what we need to do as America. I'm wearing Coca-Cola as an American company, bitch. Try me. Russia and China. I'm sick of this shit. Let's go to war. Let's go to war. I'm tired of it. And speaking of war, who the hell will be supporting who in World War III? It's obvious.
Here is who's supporting who in World War III. If World War III breaks out, then Russia will be supported by China. They will also have the support of North Korea. Belarus will also support Russia, as well as Kazakhstan. Serbia will also support them, as will Pakistan, Mongolia, and Vietnam. On the other side, Ukraine will be supported by the USA. They will also be supported by the UK, France, and Germany. Poland, Canada and Italy, Romania, Lithuania and Latvia, Estonia, Czechia and Slovakia, Hungary, and in Asia, Japan and South Korea. If it comes down to it, who do you think will win?
There was a lot of niggas in support with the United States and Ukraine. A lot of niggas. But it would have to all be strategical. Which means it would have to be a threat to their actual country for them to put their arms involved. That's how this will actually work. We got allies, yes. We might get some fucking military might and shit sent to Taiwan or the Ukraine as far as arms in the midst of World War III. But boots wouldn't be on the ground unless it was these countries defending their own areas or close proximity. That's the only way that they would actually, quote unquote, get involved. They could send money, they could send arms. But for the most part, that's the information that we have at this specific moment. Best believe the United States is correlating with all these people just in case these things happen. The problem is, the United States is all about, let's see how they react. We can do this through diplomacy, which is talking, or we can do this through military might. Overlord. Bro, France shouldn't even count. They gonna lose like usual. You already know, nigga. You already know. But France's best interest is to be on our side. The UK best interest is to be on our side. Clearly. We got their back. Anything happen to them niggas over there, we're gonna strike. Okay? So that's who's on whose side. Okay? And now these countries are preparing for war. Just like Russia.
Now, according to Newsweek, The Sun, and other Russian news outlets, Vladimir Putin has just ordered weapons of mass destruction. These are new nuclear torpedoes with radiation poisoning technology. Now, the weapon is the Poseidon radioactive torpedo. They already exist, but according to these news outlets, he's just ordered a bunch of new ones to be loaded into torpedoes that go all over the world. The blast is powered by a nuclear warhead that can be detonated on command versus only on impact. So from one side of Putin's mouth, he is saying, we don't want nuclear war with NATO or the United States or Europe. From the other side, he's building new nuclear weapons with horrible destruction power.
Once again, that clip was used to fair use. You just don't think that he's buying that shit for nothing. World War III will be a nuclear war. That's why the United States is so hesitant on that shit. He's going out with the big bang, looks like. Yeah, all of these countries are. China, Russia. Yeah, this is going to be big. That's why the United States and all these other countries work so hard to not use nukes. Or get rid of their nukes. Which the United States said they did, but didn't. Yeah, it's going down, folks. It's going down. I done showed you that war is inevitable. And it will cause a chain reaction to the rest of the world. It will be costly on the global scale to all these countries. That's why strategic moves are so important. So when you said, what we don't have the information, what we kind of do on the United States half. Okay? If all of these other countries will not move to Taiwan and help in that situation. They will move arsenals and money, but they won't actually put boots on the ground. The only time their boots will be on the ground is defending their own area, their own region. Okay? Overlord. Won't a nuclear war end the world? Yeah. Yeah. This is what the borders look like after World War III.
What would the borders of the world look like after a third world war? The only realistic possibility for a third global war would be involving NATO and its Asian partners and a Sino-Russian alliance. Without each other, neither Russia nor China has the power to challenge NATO. Even working together, though, victory is all but impossible. But that doesn't mean a war wouldn't be costly for all involved. Assuming neither side reverts to nuclear weapons, Russia would suffer a very fast and overwhelming defeat in Europe. An influx of Chinese troops could try to slow the defeat, but would inevitably be routed themselves by NATO's superior forces. Such a crushing defeat for Russia would bring about a certain collapse for Putin's regime, and multiple Russian regions would push for independence. The Russian Federation is tenuous and would at least partly break up after another disastrous war. China would likely not have its borders affected by losing a third world war, but it would be so economically devastated by a NATO blockade that the Chinese Communist Party would almost certainly be thrown out of power. Already, pro-democracy movements in China are raising serious concerns for President Xi Jinping, who is expected to rule for life.
Once again, that was used in fair use. I love infographics. So please, guys, don't come after me. I'm a fan. Make sure y'all go subscribe to their channel. They inform me a lot. Infographics. Look it up. Infographics. It's real easy to spell, real easy to look up. Okay? These people will inform you on certain situations. They will even perform simulations of what could happen. Very informational show, especially about political news. Okay? But to even go further to answer your question, Overlord, won't nuclear war be the end? Yes. Yeah. China, Russia, during World War II, during the Cold War, they were all building arms for the potential of World War III. This has been in the works for fucking 75, some 80 some odd years. Yeah. It will be the end. Because one country will try to gain the edge when it comes down to war and bomb. The problem is that United States ain't going to go out like that. Neither will China or Russia. World War III involving one of those countries will be bad. Even if it didn't involve Russia, China, and the United States, it still will be bad in nuclear because either the United States is going to help out the other countries that they have interest with by sending arms or aircraft to them. Same thing, vice versa, between China and Russia. They will send help, financial stability, and the other party would feel some type of way, which would drag those other countries involved. Either way it go, war is inevitable. And this is why World War III will be the end.
If a global war breaks out in this day and age, nuclear weapons will likely be used. And that really complicates your emergency plan. If you see a nuclear flash, the first thing to do is get behind a barrier in case the shockwave comes your way. And then you've got to find an enclosed shelter quickly. You've only got about 15 to 20 minutes before nuclear fallout starts coming down. Once you've found shelter, be sure to remove your outer layer of clothing and your mouth cover. Seal them in a plastic bag and clean yourself as soon as possible. And then, get comfortable. You'll want to stay in your shelter for at least a day to ensure the dangers of radiation have been eliminated.
Once again, that clip was used only in fair use. Go subscribe to that channel. Make sure you guys support them as well. Also, hit the like. That's the only way this video goes anywhere. That's it, folks. That's all I got to tell y'all. It's going down, folks. It's going down. Americans, start preparing for nuclear war. Let's go back to the old days during World War II when we were preparing, doing drills. Americans, start getting prepared. Because I'll tell you, the most devastating thing that happened to us was 9/11. And that was 2 airplanes crashing into a building. Imagine the kind of catastrophic mess we would be in if we got nuked. You don't think these other countries was watching us during that time? Americans, start getting prepared. Start doing your research on how to be ready for nuclear war. Maybe I might even go as far to make a video on it. Don't take this video lightly. Don't take anything lightly. This video is very important to get the news out to Americans that war is inevitable. And it will happen in 2024. You mark my words on it. They will try to catch us by surprise in the midst of an election. Be ready for it, Americans. Overlord, what will America do without all the cheap production from China? I feel like it will hurt the American economy a bunch in a short term, at least. Good advice in a video, though. Yeah, for sure. I disagree because, you know, there was a trade war between Trump's America and China. And we did just fine, right? We got other countries that we could deal with. There's another reason why we're lifting sanctions on Venezuela. Yeah. So that we can trade in the midst of this war that's getting ready to happen. We to cut ties with Saudi Arabia. Yeah. It's going down, folks. Let's be prepared. Whatever we need to do in the midst of a world war, let's be prepared. Mentally, get yourselves together. It's going down, folks. Usually in a war, the American people pays more for it. Or the people or the citizens of a specific country pays more for it because things go up. You think shit is tough now, watch when a war happens. Shit went up in a war with Ukraine and Russia without United States. Here in the United States. Imagine what happens in the midst of a war. Take that in consideration. I'm Eric Loyd. This is the end of the show. Once again, all the clips that I used was in fair use. I own no rights to any of the clips that I showed. I don't gain to profit from any of the clips that I showed, so please, guys, don't come after me. I appreciate you for putting your videos out on a short way that I can use it for fair use and inform my audience here. My name is Eric motherfucking Loyd. Be prepared, niggas. I might do a video on how to prepare for for a nuclear war. I might, okay? But some events will have to unfold for me to get to that point. So just prepare. Be prepared. It might happen within the next 6 months or so. Be prepared. But best believe this shit going down in 2024. Mark my words. My name is Eric motherfucking Loyd. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. I'm out this motherfucker, as Overlord said. Holla, 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 holla. We out this bitch.
Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 let me holler at you, 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 let me holler at you. Holla, 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 holla. I'm so obsessed with the quest that it is so absurd. I hope I don't end up in the back of a hearse. I'm focused on my